Hey!
What you have just seen is one of the most common, rapidly grown crimes in America. It's called mugging. Last year, almost 500,000 people in this country were its victims. The lucky ones only lost their property. Some were injured. Some lost their lives. You know something? Muggings can happen anywhere. In large cities, small cities, suburbs, and it certainly could happen to anyone. The elderly, the young, it could even happen to you. Hello, I am Police Officer LaDon Griffith, and I've been a policeman with the Housing Authority Police Department in New York City for 14 years. And in the course of my work, I must have seen about 1,000 muggings. But it wasn't until my own grandfather, aged 82, was mugged for the second time that I started to think seriously about how to avoid being mugged. You see, my grandfather was quite elderly, and he was half blind, but he was angry too. And when it was all over, he came to me and said, "You're a policeman. Why can't you teach me to help myself?" I knew he was serious, so I started to work. I guess I tried to read everything that was ever written on mugging. I talked to fellow police officers. I visited hospitals and spoke with hundreds of victims of muggers. I went into the jails and the courts and interviewed the muggers themselves. How can you avoid a mugging? First of all, try not to travel alone. Police officers know that most mugging victims travel by themselves. But in the event that you are by yourself, say you're coming home from school and you think someone is following you, what should you do? Well, don't ever stop the person and ask, "Are you following me?" You want to put as much space as you can between you and that possible mugger. Another good, simple idea is to pretend that you see a friend and call to him or her loudly. It's important, too, to be careful where you walk. Walk down the middle of the sidewalk, avoiding doorways and bushes, because you never know who might be waiting for you. If you think you are being followed, there's a simple way of finding out. Cross the street and see if the person crosses behind you. If you are still being followed, try to spot a store where you can stop and call the police. Make it a point to know where public phone booths are located. You can then run into a booth where you will be easily visible to the public. Close the door, brace yourself against it, and dial for help.
Operator?
If necessary, you can even go into the middle of the street, stop traffic, and ask for help.
There's somebody following me.
What are some other ways you can avoid being mugged? Well, stay alert and be aware of your surroundings. That's very important. For instance, if someone in a car stops you and calls you over to ask directions,
Excuse me, miss.
don't approach the car. I repeat, don't approach the car. If you want to give directions, fine, but stay clear of that car because you never know what might happen. In order to spread the message of what people can do to avoid being mugged, I speak to many different groups, like this one. We often let our guard down sometimes, not even I try to tell them things that can help them avoid a mugging, and that may even help them save their lives. If somebody wants your property, what should you do?
Give it up.
I didn't hear that. What is that again? Give it up, right. But you know what you would normally do out there on the street? Somebody would, exactly. The normal reaction, impulse, to pull back. Don't fight for property, ladies and gentlemen. Your life's work might be in this pocketbook. All of your contents for your day's receipts might be in that pocketbook. But guess what? Not your life. Not your life. Thank you, dear. Let me introduce to you some of the members of my staff. Mr. Pete Shiver, a mugger. Mr. Bob Sullivan, a mugger. Mr. Jose Rivera, a purse snatcher. They're not here to be glamorized, because I don't glamorize anyone that has preyed on others. They're here maybe perhaps just to help us a little bit to make our own lives just a little bit safer. Okay, Janet's gonna mug me, and she's gonna start squeezing me at the throat. Okay, now I have a decision to make. Should I submit, or should I react? Life or death situation only. Only. Okay, she has me at the throat, she starts to squeeze. Tight, 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 tight.
Ow!
Don't say that. What did I do? I did what? Oh, this is a smart group. I pinched her, exactly. I pinched her right here. Okay? As a matter of fact, what is your first name again, dear? When Janet gets home tonight, when she takes off her clothes, she's going to say to herself, my God, that's Griffith right there. Thank you, dear. Okay, I know something else. Let's give her a hand, please. Okay, now let's pay attention for a minute. Someone grabs you by the wrist. Grab your hand, please. Someone grabs you by the wrist in this fashion, okay? This is not a life or death situation, is it? No. Oh, I mean, what do you really want back here? Just your own arm, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the key to the course, so pay attention. God forbid if somebody does grab you. If the first thing you want to do, if somebody should happen to grab you, is ask yourself this one question, and that is, what's available to me? What do you ask yourself? Oh, I didn't hear that. Say that again, please.
What's available to me?
Thank you. What is available to me? My other arm. What else? Okay, but this is, my leg's correct. But this is not a life or death situation. I just want my arm back. Now, grab Adrian, please. Now, the next thing you do, you look at the person's fingers. You want to see where the fingers and the thumb come together. This is the weak point in the chain. Pull against it, and you could break free. But if you struggle in any other direction, you will never break the grip. And that position there, that is when you pull your hand away. Give me back my hand. A little tighter, please. He says, oh, my God, it's so simple, Griffith. I don't believe it. Tight, 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 tight. Give me back my hand. Thank you. Once again, pull out again, please. Let's give him a hand. About 4 weeks ago, if you remember, a lady was mugged. They came up from behind. They put their arm around her neck. They had broke her windpipe, and she didn't know it. Remember the story? She called the police when the police were there. As she was telling them what happened, she died. If you remember reading about it. They had mugged her like this, and I guess they just wanted the money. But they squeezed too tight. What can you do? Pay attention. Everyone, turn your head to the right. Face me, please. Who could tell me why Leah should turn her head to the right?
To release the pressure.
To release the pressure. You're right on Main Street. Notice, here, when you turn your head to the bend of the elbow, there is space there. When you turn your head to the bend of the elbow, there is space there. Now it allows you to maybe breathe just a little better. What is the first thing she should have asked herself? You're with me. You're with me. What's available to me? What is available to her here? What is that there? Both of her arms. What else? Her heels, exactly. Notice in this position here, she turns her head. Should she let me get the property before she does anything? Yes. All right, you're right with me. Don't fight for property. Now the next step. She has a decision to make. Should I submit or should I react? Oh my God, they're trying to take my life. I can't tell you what to do. I could just show you. Testicles. She reaches down and feels for the testicle and she squeezes. I know you're saying, oh, Griffith, you're so naughty talking about feeling for testicles. I'm talking about life and death only. What if I'm a female mugger? She can't go for the groin area. You know something, my wife told me this. She said, you know, you always talk about the male mugger. What about the female mugger? We have female gangs and females mugging people. She says, you know something? She says, females are very weak in the stomach, generally speaking, and the breast. Exactly, dear, and the breast. So in a case like this, she makes a fist. Everyone make a fist and do this. Make a fist, do this. Okay. Remember, when an arm is around your throat, turn your head towards the mugger's elbow to relieve the pressure. Don't fight for property. In a life and death situation, reach back for the mugger's testicles. Or if it's a woman, jab your elbow against her stomach or breast. Okay. Under the arms. Under the arms. Tight, bear hug. Tight, tight, tight. What's the first thing she asks herself? What's the first thing she asks herself? Say it again. Say it again. What's available to me? Now, notice. Notice. I look down, grab one finger, pull it back, and step out. We have swivel joints. We have lock joints. Notice. Look down at the fingers, look down. Reach for one finger. If it's the left hand, get the left hand. Pull it back. Step out, and scream. Once again, when someone grabs you from behind, reach for the mugger's finger, pull it back hard, step out, and scream. Can I borrow you for a minute, dear? Thank you. Officer Griffith, you know, I was mugged, Officer Griffith, but I never seen him coming. They came up from behind, they grabbed me, they put their hand over my mouth. They put their hand over my mouth, so I couldn't do what? Scream. So I couldn't scream. Shorty, you want to grab him from behind? 2 men on 1. If they want the money, what should we do? Okay, now, one has his hand around her mouth. In this fashion, one slaps her and takes the money. Now, she gives the money up or they get the money. She has a decision. What should she do? They continue to squeeze, maybe continue to slap. She has to make a decision. Okay, she reaches up for one finger, preferably the pinky or the thumb. She pulls it out, pulls it away. Okay, dear, don't hurt her. Okay? You so-and-so, you. You so-and-so, you. You so-and-so. But you know what she did? She went for a testicle and she squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. You okay, Shorty? Are you okay now? Sure? Okay.
You should have worn a belt.
Yes. Now, let me ask you again. Somebody has their hand over your mouth. Put your thinking hat on. What's the first thing you should ask yourself? Exactly. You have a decision to make. Should I submit or should I react? You decided to react. What's one thing you could do? Pull the finger back. Which finger? Or the thumb. If it's a male mugger behind you, a male mugger, reach for his testicles and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. At your throat. At your throat. Trying to choke you to death. People have been mugged just like this. What can you do? Everyone, hands up, please. Facing each other, palms facing each other. Palms facing each other. Okay, if anyone here in the audience is sightless, just make sure your hands halfway up the shoulder height. Palms facing each other. Okay, push them in, towards each other, push them out. Again, palms facing each other, push in, push away. Once again, push in, push away. Can I borrow your stuff for a minute, please? at the throat. He takes your money. It might be two of us here, Shorty. He might be on this side. He might have taken the money. Okay? Notice, strong. Get behind, Shorty, please. Notice, tight, 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 tight. Notice I ask you to do what? Put your hands up, outside the elbow, tight, please. And here's another one. What's your first name?
Greg.
Greg, you know, Greg's got me by the throat. Another guy, he says, I bet you 2 to 1 at some time of his life, he said, if I ever get a cop by the throat, I'll wring the hell out of it. He's got it, and he's just holding so soft. Okay, yeah, he said, you really want me to do it? Okay, okay. Tight, 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 strong, strong, strong. Out here, be nice. So simple, I don't believe it. Normally you would hit the elbows, bang, and push away. Once again, if a mugger is in front of you and has you by the throat, press the mugger's elbows in and push sharply away. This will force him to break his grip. Okay, Mr. Mugger, meaning you, Robert Sullivan, how many times have you been arrested?
About 15, 16 times.
About 15 to 16 times. How many muggings have you had, Mr. Sullivan?
I say about maybe 75, give or take a
75?
couple.
You look like you're pretty happy about it, huh?
No, I ain't happy about it, you
Ain't
know.
happy? How did you get started in the mugging business, Mr. Sullivan?
Money.
Money, huh? Oh, you just needed the money? You didn't want to go to work?
No.
Jobs is hard to find.
Jobs is hard to find. That was the only problem?
Nah, I had a drug problem.
You had a what kind of problem,
A drug problem.
A drug problem? So you had to support the habit, huh?
That's it. I support my habit.
Mr. Mugger, meaning you, Mr. Shiver. Mr. Shiver, when you're picking out your victims, what do you look for in a victim?
Very simple things. I look for a man that's coming home with his paycheck. He pats his pocket. Because he's got his paycheck. That's where the money's at.
So you mean you're telling me that's an unusual thing for a man to
This is a
pocket?
very unusual thing. Generally, when a man has a few dollars in his pocket, he walks naturally. When he's got his paycheck or something valuable, he's gonna pat that pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I know where that money is at. Now, I don't have to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or even in hip, he'll do that. When it comes to the ladies, I'm gonna tell you something, ladies, that you do. You will grab that pocketbook so tight. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You would grab that pocketbook so tight, and you would look around you at every person that passes you by. You would do this. I know you have something valuable. Remember, I'm the mugger.
Mr. Purse Snatcher, meaning you, Shorty Rivera. How do you know that you're going to snatch a pocketbook? How do you spot your victim?
Well, the way they wave at him.
The way they wave. What do you mean?
On the purse.
The pocketbook itself, where they handle it? Shorty spots his victims when they hold their pocketbook loosely. Here comes the lady getting ready to have a pocketbook snatch. And you know the funny thing about that? And she's walking down the street and the pocketbook is dangling, and really the pocketbook is talking to that purse snatcher. Come and get me. Come and get me. And you know something? Johnny No Good is seeing that pocketbook. He doesn't even see you. He doesn't even see your face or your body. He just sees that pocketbook saying, come and get me. Ladies, how should you carry it?
On your shoulder.
Shoulder. Not unusual like Pete said, like snatch like this, but just normal, okay? Not that the purse snatcher can't get it, but it's not as inviting this way as compared to this way. I took this off of a mugger. A mugger. A mugger. Mugged the lady, he did this, and he had the knife right here. Now, this is very touchy now. When I talk about weapons, I just need your undivided attention, because this is something very touchy. On your feet, please. Let's go to work. Pay attention. Now, I'm going to ask you to do this. One, just make a little pivot on your right and left foot and look toward the window. Good. Face me again, please. Ready? Once again. One. Turn. Excellent. Face me again, please. Once again. One. Good. Now on a count of two, look this way. Stay pivoted. Put your left hand out. Two. In front of you. Waist high. Fingers down. Thumb up. Exactly. Good. Now 3, when you turn around with 2 fingers up like this. 3. Good, 2 fingers up. That's excellent. Let's do it again. Ready? 1. Count of 2, push your left hand out. 2. Count of 3, turn around with 2 fingers up. And 3, what area do you think I'm going with the 2 fingers? Okay, good. All right, have a seat, please. 1975, October 75, I lectured at a particular senior citizen center. This particular center, there was a 71-year-old man, Severo Mazzella. 70-year-old man. He spoke with very broken English. He left my course at 12 noon to go out to get a little air in between the break, the course break. While he was outside, an individual came up to him, took out a dagger, put it in his stomach, and demanded a quarter. 25 cents. Mr. Mazzello told the man in very broken English, he says, "Sir, I don't have a quarter." And then the man said, "Well, I'm going to cut your stomach out if you don't give me a quarter." But within a split second, Mr. Mazzello took the knife away from the man, brought it back into the center. I was having lunch. He said, "Officer Griffith, I just was mugged, and here's the knife." I'm honest to God, I'll tell you this. I said, "You were what?" He said, "I just was mugged." My partner and I, we went outside, and there was the guy that had just mugged him in a doorway. Mr. Mazzella did some things to this man that I didn't even teach him. Right? It's unbelievable. I'm going to show you now what he did. Many muggers do carry knives, sometimes guns. Believe it or not, sometimes they don't carry anything. But now we're going to talk about the knife. Could I borrow your son for a minute, please? Quite the contrary to what you might hear, many youngsters are mugged. My own stats show that more kids are mugged more than senior citizens, believe it or not. This actually happens, okay? The youngster is confronted, a weapon is brandished, no money is given up, and possibility someone might get hurt. Okay, now when I do this, son, you make one shift, okay? 1. Turn, no. Notice like this here. You hear, 1, okay? Ready, don't go with the knife hand yet. Ready? 1, turn, good. You know what he just did? He just escaped the weapon. He kept from getting cut. Step 2, he pushed the hand away so the person can bring the knife back. And you notice how he's holding the hand. In step 3, he came right back to the eyes. Good. Once again, very slow. First step is what? Step away, right. Next step is what? Push it away. The next step is what? To the eyes, right? No fighting, no struggle, no $6 million man things, okay? Now we got to put 1, 2, and 3 together a little quicker. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, a little faster now. Ready? Go. Good. All right. Once again, now a little faster. Push away. All right. Okay. Give him a hand. All right. Fantastic.
You know, people often ask me, Griff, if someone had a knife at your throat or a gun at your head, is there anything you could do? Well, these two situations call for extreme caution. A knife at your throat or a gun at your head. There's no room for error, and certainly this is not the time to panic. One scream, pow, could end it all. But this is what I would do in a situation like this. And this is what I tell members of my own family, and I would like to share it with you. You know, I would talk to the mugger in a very low, almost inaudible voice. I would say something like, "Would you please take my property and leave me with my identification?" You see, I know he has control because why? He has a gun to my head. But in some small way, I'm trying to wrest a little bit of this control from him. I'm trying to get him to relax. I'm trying to get him to listen to me. So hopefully, he could take my property and leave without hurting me. This certainly proves the point that you don't always have to be physical to protect yourself. sometimes you just have to use your wits. Preventive self-defense. Preventive. Think about this. If you are in an elevator and somebody grabbed you and you had to scream, "Help, police, police!" And the elevator is going from 1 to your floor 10. This is how your neighbor behind their apartment door will hear you. This is how they will hear your voice as you're going from floor to floor. Remember, they probably have their television and radio on, and they'll hear you just like this. And you're in the elevator, "Help, police!" And they hear you. Put your thinking caps on for a minute. I say push button 3, 5, and 10. What happens when you get to the 3rd floor? The door opens up, and that good neighbor might hear you. I say, yell, "Help! Fire! Fire! Fire!" For some reason, when somebody hears "help, police," you know what they do? You know, for some reason, they run into their corner. They forget that they have a phone. They forget that they can lift their windows up and yell, "Somebody's being hurt." But when they hear "help, fire," they says, "Oh my God, my own can might get burned." Preventive self-defense. Preventive. To remember all the points we've made and to help you to protect yourself, it's a good idea to practice. How could you practice by yourself? Well, I'm going to show you how. Shorty, you take a coat. My wife bought this coat for me 5 years ago. I didn't even think I would use it. It was $5. She says, "Get the coat, $5. A coat. What do you think this coat represents? A person. Okay, remember what we learned this morning. Person grabs you at the wrist. What's the first thing you ask yourself? What's available to me? You're right on Main Street. What do you look for? Where the thumb and the fingers come together. Notice? Away. What am I practicing with? A coat. Around the waist. What do I ask myself? What's available? I look down at what? Thumb or finger. Pull it away, I step out. Around the mouth. Finger, testicle. All right. Okay, you're with me. You're right on Main Street. Around the neck. What do I do? Turn your head. Exactly. What a fantastic group. There is one thing more than anything else that isn't more important than actual self-defense. And that's looking out for one another. You cannot beat that. Looking out for your neighbor. You know something, too? I'm going to tell you the funniest thing. I was at a particular center, and I talk about looking after one another. There was two ladies there, and they told me, they said something like this. You know something, Officer Griffith? You know how we look out for each other? We use a shade system. I said, "What do you mean?" Well, when I get up in the morning, what I do, I raise my shade halfway up, and my neighbor does the same thing. If that shade is not raised halfway up by 12 noon, I come a-running. Something's wrong. Fantastic. Looking out for one another. If everyone do me a favor, please, would you stand up? Thank you, sir. You know, there's something I often tell people, it's so simple, getting to know you. Getting to know your neighbor. And what I would like you to do, ladies and gentlemen, just to turn to your neighbor next to you and shake their hand and tell them your name. Would you do that for me, please? Somebody's up here, kiss it. You know, I receive letters from all over the country, from various police departments and organizations, requesting information about this course. And I also receive many letters from people that have actually saved their lives using some of the safety hints shown here. But I receive these letters, though, with mixed emotions. On one hand, I'm happy about those that have actually saved their lives, because that's what this course is all about. But on the other side of the ledger, I'm somewhat saddened to think that a course of this type has to be given in a so-called sane and democratic society. Don't you agree? But then again, I deal with what is, as opposed to what ought to be. And we can't hide from the fact that muggings do occur. So in some small way, I hope that I've helped you to understand what's available to you
just in case.